Ganapatye Namah. Om Gam Ganapatye Namah. Om Gam Ganapatye Namah. Om Shanti. 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 Hari Om. Hello and welcome to Panchakarma. We had Ted joining in the mantra. That was a mantra to Ganesh, and Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. Ganesh opens the way for the creative force to come through, and that is what we are working on in this special experience that kind of got downloaded for me that I want to offer to the community here at Broad Coven. I do other work besides, doing these readings. I am also an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I'm licensed with NAMA, the National Ayurvedic Medical Association. I have been working in the field of Ayurveda for about 7 years now, and I was taught by the fabulous Deanna Batdorf, who is currently of Deanna Essentials, but it was formerly the Deanna Center. And very grateful to my teacher, learned so much from her. I've also learned from many wonderful, wonderful teachers on the path of Ayurveda, Mamta Landerman being another one. Much respect to you, Mamta Landerman. And this is something that I've also explored for many, many years, even prior to becoming an Ayurvedic practitioner. It's how I have brought healing to myself. And it's been a tremendous gift in my life. And I want to extend that gift and share that gift and pass it on, pay it forward to others. Panchakarma is a very special experience. Normally, Panchakarma is something received, okay? And in the West, where unfortunately many people have forgotten the roots of Ayurveda, people tend to charge a lot of money in order to receive Panchakarma. And it's something that's not really accessible to the majority of people. And I wanted to do something to facilitate it actually being accessible to people, no matter what their circumstances. I think it's so valuable, this journey of transformation. And over the past few years, I've developed a self-care panchakarma. And I want to offer it to all of you here and to just guide you through the journey and hold the container for you to have this experience, this empowerment. And that's really what it is. It's an empowerment so you can take charge of your health on all levels, mind, body, spirit, and transform your life and stop living in that place of the shadow, but really step into your light and shine it from your center out into the world and share your gifts and activate your purpose, the reason why you're here. So that's what this journey is about. It's a guided journey. I'm going to guide you through it. We got, the downloads that will come in. We're going to do a reading every 10 days. We're going to do this in 4 10-day cycles. I've started a playlist here. It's a Panchakarma playlist. You can come to it at any time you want, but it is in live mode now. We are getting this started. This is the initiation. If you're curious about the inspiration that inspired me to do this and brought all this forward, there is already a video there. It's from one of my courses for Pitta Dosha, and it is a reading and satsang that I did for that course that really felt like it needed to be shared from the collective, and from there sprang this idea. So that can kind of familiarize you with what brought this all about, what brought this forward for me. And we are kicking this off today every 10 days. So there'll be 4 of these readings, 4 of these drop-in sessions. I welcome you to drop comments, to ask questions, to ask for clarification, to share your experiences, anything. Let's form community around this for those who are interested in taking this opportunity. But it really is an empowerment so that you can transform your life utilizing the wisdom of the Vedas. Ayurveda. We'll cover things like yoga and pranayama and different Ayurvedic self-care techniques. Maybe sometimes a meditation will come in, a guided meditation. Maybe some type of practice to really root what the reading brings in for that week. And, Spirit's got the wheel with that. Okay. I'm going to do the reading, and I'm actually going to let the reading be what sets the tone for our week. But this week is initiation. So right now, what we're looking at is preparing for this 40-day journey. All right. So this is actually going to be a 50-day journey when we get down to it. But I wanted to provide some preparation time for you all so you can really get your Panchakarma off onto a strong footing. And from here, honestly, this is something that you can carry with you throughout your life. I call it Panchakarma life. And it's how I like to move forward towards my goals. I set a specific target, something that I'm wanting to achieve in my life. And it can be any goal. We talk about this in the last video that I did that posted here that's also on that playlist. Okay, so go check that out if you want to know more about that. But we start out setting a goal. And this goal can be anything that's important to you. I want you to think of something that you feel like would really transform your life if you could achieve this goal, something you want to see happen in your reality. It can be anything from getting in shape, dropping weight, to healing a relationship rift with someone. It can be having the courage to share your creativity, or to embark on a business venture, or to move somewhere, where you don't know anybody, or take any kind of major life risk that steps you out of crossroads and into your empowerment and into a new potential, where you also kind of have to, hold your feet to the fire a little bit, because you need to step into some bigger shoes. And it might be a little bit intimidating, okay? It will challenge you. A Panchakarma is a straightening by fire, all right? It is a purification process on every stratum of being, mind, body, spirit. It is a purification. And I will be sharing purification techniques, actual physical purification techniques based on Ayurveda that you can incorporate. And I will help you set up your own practice so that you can really have this experience. But the thing that's beautiful about it, whereas normally in Panchakarma, you're receiving it, right? You have a team of Ayurvedic practitioners that are actually doing body work on you and guiding you through the experience and getting assessments for you and all of this, okay? I am going to hold that space for you. So please, if you have questions, ask me questions. I want to be able to provide you this support. It's always been my goal to be able to share the gift of Ayurveda with other people, because Ayurveda has made such a huge difference in my life. And at one point, it really saved my life. So to just pass that on to others and let them experience it for themselves, the beauty of this transformation on offer through taking this up, I want to do this. This is what my heart is compelling me to do. So we're going to start out with a reading today, just to see what you need to do to get yourself prepared for this journey. And the reading will kind of dictate the focus for this first 10 days. So you're getting a 50-day journey. It's going to be 40 days in deep, in actual Panchakarma, carrying out what you will establish this week is like your way forward. Okay, so let's see what Spirit is asking of the collective that's going to take up this Panchakarma journey. What is the work at hand? What is the work to be done? I'm pulling from the Paulina Tarot for this, but I'm also going to bring in a couple other cards. I'm going to bring in the Kali Oracle and the White Light Oracle, both by Alana Fairchild. And they're going to really just cap everything off after the tarot reading to give a very clear picture about our way forward, you know. It's interesting. I looked, and this is all about like reversing that tower energy. Okay. So I feel like this week it's going to be so key, so pivotal to have a very honest assessment of acknowledging the ways that we can all sabotage ourselves and get in our own way, and getting very clear about what will be required to turn those behaviors around. So do you have certain things that you do, certain habits, you know, that really derail you from going after your goals or interfere with you completing things, seeing things to fruition? Are you engaged in self-sabotaging behaviors? Do you know what those self-sabotaging behaviors are? This is the week to really be honest with yourself and take accountability for how you participate in the results that you see in your life, in the experiences that unfold around you. You are the creator of your life. You are the architect of your life. So if the foundation isn't solid, that's when the tower comes down, right? This is about laying the solid foundation in place for this experience. So it's so key at this point to really look at the ways that maybe you got certain daily things that you do that are not encouraging you to live your best life. All right. So we want to turn that energy around. We want to let that tower fall, you know, this sort of like old paradigm of the way that we've moved through life, moved through our experiences, and acknowledge the way that we haven't really been moving in our best interest, and how can we change that? And the way we change that is through actual practices. You know, it's a practice. It's a sadhana, a daily practice, a daily devotion to transforming that energy. And the best way to do that is to feel inspired by something that has you wanting to invest the energy to create lasting change. So there's two pieces to what really needs to be focused on this week. The first piece is to look at the ways that, you know, you're kind of just like sitting around waiting for your life to change with this Four of Swords, sort of just expecting things to happen and come to you without effort, without acknowledging how you need to shift to actually step into that new potential. You know, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, and yet you have a habit of, you know, forgetting your appointments, or you have half finished things done everywhere, you've overextended yourself, or maybe you just get lazy and you think that you can just kind of take it easy, and you're not handling those things that you know need to be done. It's really about sort of grokking. What would a successful entrepreneur do? Okay. Look at some successful entrepreneurs. What are their daily habits? How do they structure their lives? You know, maybe even do some reading, do some research on this. You might be surprised what you discover. You might be surprised what you find. And then it's about being honest with yourself in a compassionate way. You know, it's cool. You don't need to beat yourself up if you're falling short. But you know, the first step in any kind of transformation is acknowledging the role you're playing in kind of keeping things at that sticking point. All right. So we want to transform that energy. We want to use this opportunity to see a goal, you know, choose some goal that you're passionate about, something that if you achieved it, you really feel like it would level up your life. And it can be any goal you like. All right. And then I want you to look at what is the things that could get in the way of you getting there? What has held you back in the past? You know, maybe it's a goal that you tried to reach numerous times and you just keep coming shy of the mark. Why? What are the things that have gotten in the way from you doing that? Don't blame it on other people. Don't look at other people and, well, this person did this and this person did that, and that's what kept me from being successful. Or this person sabotaged. Get out of that. I want you to look at it from the perspective of just you. What could you have done differently that would have gotten you there? And then align with that energy. Align with that energy by starting to map out, okay, what are the daily practices I need to change? What do those daily practices look like? And actually committing to it by creating a schedule for yourself. I don't care if you pop it into a journal, if you write it on a random piece of, binder paper that you thumbtack up onto your bulletin board so it's front and center, you see it, or if you actually go into your phone, pull up your Google Calendar and schedule it there. Schedule it out. Schedule it out. What is it going to look like? What is your daily practice going to look like? You're going to want to establish a morning practice or a morning dinacharya and an evening practice, an evening dinacharya, okay? And those two practices are your self-care, because you want to make sure that when you're going forward in the world to go after your goals, you're coming from a place of fullness, not exhaustion, which can lead to resentment, which can lead to burnout and then just disengaging, throwing in the towel, and then you never get there, right? So you've got to start by taking care of yourself first. So your first order of the day this week is to create your morning dinacharya. Keep it simple. What is going to be your morning practice? This should include some way of caring for your body, doing a little gentle yoga, even some sun salutations, maybe going for a morning walk, getting a more vigorous workout in if that's what your body is calling for on that day, or even just some simple stretches, maybe just putting on some music, having a little free flow movement, doing a little dancing, whatever feels right for where you're at. What's going to be right for me or any other person is not necessarily going to be the right thing for you. So this is about you really creating a plan that meets you where you're at right now. Don't try to meet your future self, okay? Meet where you're at right now, but also challenge yourself, push your edge a little bit as you're creating this plan, okay? The second thing would be doing some kind of self-care for the body. So maybe you give yourself abhyanga, that's a self-massage where you apply warm oil, massaging from the scalp all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And you let the oil kind of absorb and sink into your skin. No longer than an hour. You don't want to put out your natural fire, okay? You don't want to dampen your fire, but it's good to just let the body drink in that nourishment. It's very soothing, calming for the nervous system, okay? And traditionally, it's done in the morning. It's done first thing in the morning is a way to start the day. It also makes a lovely addition to a bedtime routine as well, followed by a nice, soak in the tub or a nice warm shower. It can really just get you calmed and centered and also create a closure to the day. But having some kind of physical self-care, and that can be anything, it might be painting your nails some morning. You might feel like you want to incorporate some kind of pampering to start your day or to close your day. But the focus for the morning dinacharya is really to set the tone for your day. So there should also be some kind of, along with that self-care, there should be some kind of like goal setting, some way you drop in, get connected to your center. That can be with a little meditation. It can be with having a talk with your ancestors over some coffee. That's a little, kind of ritual I like to do. It can be reading an inspirational book, and writing down what comes forward, what inspires you, and getting your center, getting the guidance you need, opening yourself up to your higher guidance, your wisdom, that, your Atman delivers. Your Atman is your higher consciousness, really establishing that link at the beginning of the day, maybe doing something that kind of brings you into your spiritual center, whether that's doing some mantra, like we opened up with, or, doing some prayer work, if that's what speaks to you, working with some ritual. Again, it's your path. It's all about what speaks to you, what motivates you, what's fueling your spirit, what kindles that fire inside of you and motivates you to actualize those higher ideals into the world, that are spurred on by your higher consciousness, your higher awareness, or spirit, God, however you choose to view it, goddess. It's all the same trip, okay? But anything that connects you to that, you really want to think mind, body, spirit, feeding all of it. Starting with the body, it's the foundation, okay? It's how you root your energy. It's how you make as above, so below. It's how you root that energy into reality. We have the high priestess opening up here for this journey. And this is very fitting because a priestess makes all things sound, and that starts with the self. It's making sure your house is in order. What is the stability of a home? The foundation. The foundation is the physical body, right? So, opening your day with a little physical self-care, a little exercise, brushing the teeth, maybe doing a little oil pulling, scraping the tongue. You could do some neti pot. If you do neti pot for 21 days in a row, it really helps you rewire like your mindset so you can achieve that goal. It's wonderful for transforming bad habits, into supportive practices, to work with neti pot, because it's so stimulating for that third eye, ajna, right? It helps clear the inner vision. It helps you get focused. It helps bring you into your center. And it's just so good. It opens up the airway passages. It allows you to take in more prana. It allows you to breathe more deeply. It allows you to take in prana, which is life force energy, and you need energy in order to activate any kind of change in your life. So it's so key. And you could do that abhyanga, like I was talking about. And then once you've done your like little morning opening self-care practices, you can maybe spend a little time doing a little yoga while your oil from your abhyanga sinks into your body. And you can do a little mantra, or read some kind of book that spiritually inspires you, or do a little opening morning ritual where you set your intentions for the day and what you want to call into the day. Make it your own. Whatever resonates with you as that practice is, there's nothing wrong with it. It is your path. It's highly individual, okay? And that's one thing I love about Ayurveda, is so individual, but it's about really caring for the foundation first, taking care of that body, all right? And then it's through the body that we're able to better access our intuition, okay? By getting into the physical body, you actually can access your intuition, this high priestess within. You can invoke the high priestess by coming into your body. People often see the physical and spiritual as separate, but they're not. In fact, often what happens is people get disconnected from their bodies. It's not comfortable to be in their bodies. When you're in your body, you're going to feel all your emotions. You're going to have those sensitivities. You're going to be forced to look at what needs to change. If you're feeling physically uncomfortable in your body, you're going to be able to recognize, maybe I shouldn't be noshing away on a bag of potato chips at midnight. That might not be in my best interest, Maybe I shouldn't be just sitting around on the couch all the time. I need to get up and get moving. Like I got aches, I got pains. When you're in your body, you can feel what's at unrest. You can feel what's at dis-ease, right? And so that alone, just coming into your body, it helps you lean into what's really going on. It activates the stimulus for inspiration. Most people escape to their heads. They get stuck up in their heads. They they bypass their experience. But in order to transform your reality, you have to be embodied. You have to really come into your body. It begins with the physical body. And the physical body leads to all the other pieces. Once you're inside your physical body, then you can feel what you're feeling. You also become more aware of the subtle body and the subtle energies. And that puts you in alignment with your intuition. Because intuition is when you have that spiritual, higher, that higher knowledge that comes through your Atman, your higher consciousness, spirit, however you want to see it. It's when it merges with the intellect's awareness, okay, and becomes embodied. That is intuition. It's not a divorcing of the intellect. It's not a divorcing of the spiritual. It is the two combined in balance. Okay, like you can look at it this way as like sort of that Shiva Shakti, you know. Shakti is the more emotional. Shakti is the more receptive. And Shiva is more the man with the plan kind of energy, right? The decisiveness, the insight, the direction. Okay? The arrow pointing at the target. And then the Shakti is the hand that pulls back the quiver and focuses with awareness and knows the right time through being in that feeling nature to like let go, because you have to let go to be able to receive. All right. And sometimes in this process, when we're going for a goal, we can also have a lot of shadow material that comes up. A lot of our shadow stuff comes up. All the things inside of us that are afraid of that change, that are afraid of that transformation, because when you're in a process of transformation, it's very vulnerable. And when you're trying to go for a goal, another piece can often come up, this fear of failure, right? So sometimes we sabotage ourselves because it's easier to just sabotage yourself and tell yourself a story about it than to actually face the vulnerability that can come up when you see just how much you do have the potential to shine. So many are so afraid of it. It was 28 on the clock when I said that, all right? It's about letting go of these limitations, but doing it through a very deep journey, you know, and it begins with this. First, to know the way forward, you have to take responsibility. That's what the priestess does. The priestess makes all things sound. The priestess acknowledges personal responsibility for the creation of her life. She does not expect anything to be handed to her. She works in partnership with spirit and she listens to her intuition and she exercises wise judgment because she is informed not only by intuition, the instinct, but also the intellectual wisdom that comes through self-reflection and personal accountability. There's a lot of responsibility in working with the high priestess energy, right? So this is about creating those spaces, creating the container that allows you to really dive deep into that place where you can do the transformational work. There's times when you're going through Panchakarma and you're doing this deep inner work and you're going for a goal and you're feeling all the feels and it's all coming at you. You're reconnecting with your soul and you're reconnecting with the truth of you and all that can arise, all the vulnerabilities, all the sensitivities, everything that can start bubbling up to the surface. It's so important that you have structures in place that can hold this process, and that comes down to your self-care. They're all interconnected. So taking care of your body, you know, and creating a daily action plan. All right, these are my goals for the day. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to move forward in order to hit that target at the end of 40 days. And I encourage you, challenge yourself, really make it feel a little intimidating. Everything you want's on the other side of fear. And if you can face your fears, and if you can face the fear of failure, and really challenge yourself to see what you can bring to the table, you will be amazed at the transformational journey that it is for you. It will change your life on so many levels, And, step by step through these 40 days, every 10 days, we will sit together and we will talk about how you can root each step to bring your vision into fruition. I'm seeing here that a lot of the collective is struggling from this feeling of being helpless, feeling this sense of lack and feeling like there's no way to shift this with the 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands to that Hanged Man energy. Okay, it's a lot of you are more aligned with this energy of I don't have enough, it's not enough, feeling unfulfilled, unsatisfied, also just feeling like you don't have the energy even to go for a goal, because you're so tired, you're so exhausted from everything you've been through. And I'm picking up this real energy of just feeling like emptiness, and a need to really reconnect with yourself, and get a different perspective on the way forward, and to feel more empowered, not feel so helpless, not feel like you're stuck in this thing that's holding you back. So I feel like what's really coming forward is a lot of you are going to be setting a goal or a vision that you want to actualize that has you stepping out of a place where you felt really, really stuck. That's what I'm getting, where you felt really stuck and you felt very empty and unfulfilled. And if this thing shifts, if you can shift this one thing in your reality, it's what will free everything up. There's also, with the 9 of Wands, we're looking at a defensiveness too. And that defensiveness can really block your ability to receive. All right. So this is about you balancing those scales and for yourself, instead of looking outside of yourself for somebody else to balance them for you. It's about you taking personal accountability and saying, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I put myself first. So I'm not draining myself in how I'm expending my energy or what I'm investing in. I'm not going to invest in things that don't fulfill me or that are draining my time, draining my resources, draining my inspiration, feel like drudgery. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. And I feel like this is how you are being challenged by spirit to sort of set your vision, because you need to feel like there's something worth engaging for. I feel like there's a lot of kind of addictive behaviors in play right now that are all about people bypassing the reality of what they're really feeling inside, which is a sense of emptiness and lack of fulfillment. But they don't understand the way that they're blocking the doors, that if they could just like let down the guard and move into a place of trust, which trust really begins with the self. To thy own self be true. And that high priestess trusts herself. The high priestess trusts herself. All right. So it's about coming into that place of trust within yourself. If you trust yourself, you don't have to worry about trusting others. Others will do what they do. But when you come into your self-trust, that's a real place of empowerment. And so you begin first by looking at the ways that you don't trust yourself. Because when you don't trust, it's like this blockage. Okay. Just, if you wanted to give me something, if you wanted to give me a gift, and if I was like, this was my body posture towards you, would it be very easy to give me that gift? It wouldn't, right? But what if I was like this, open, right? Thank you. I have the saying, like, the goddess loves to fill empty hands, loves to fill empty hands. You can't give anything to anybody when they're moving through life like this, contracted. So this Panchakarma is about opening up and looking at the ways that you block your blessings, that you're blocking your blessings by thinking it's always going to be this way. I'm always going to be disappointed. I'm never able to be successful. I never get where I want to go. And the ways that that's just a fucking excuse, and that it actually bypasses your authentic experience. Because even when we're going through challenges are opportunities. Nobody likes to hear this, but it's true. Challenges are opportunities to grow. They're opportunities to discover the solution. They're opportunities to discover the way through. They're opportunities to find those places inside of us that need healing and transformation. So it's really about, working with this energy as you bump up against challenges to get a different view with this hanged man. A lot of bat energy in this hanged man card. Bat is the totem of rebirth. So Panchakarma is very much like that. Panchakarma is sort of a giving over, a letting go of the things that have been holding you back. It's a puja, it's a purification. We go through 5 steps of purification. I'm going to help bring them all in for you. Okay. I'm trying to give you this. Okay. I'm giving you this. So it's about you being able to receive this and take it up as your own and create it as your own path forward. I'm not going to tell you what your path looks like. Only your heart, only your soul knows the path that is right for you. Only your heart, only your soul knows what will give you that feeling of deep soul fulfillment. So this is about you getting very clear about this week. What do you want to change in your life? Don't choose a bunch of things. Choose one thing. One thing. We do one thing for every 40-day Panchakarma cycle. And we begin with first 10 days of really setting the tone, setting the foundation, getting everything in order so that when we kick off that Panchakarma, we know that we're going to get to where we're looking to go. We're going to hit that mark. And we are going to transform. It's a very focused route to transformation in a very minimal amount of time. And it's totally possible. But pick one goal. Something that would move you out of this place where you feel so lacking in any level of real fulfillment. Okay? And just be open to this experience, all right? Be open to this experience. Be open to doing the work. Be open to the acknowledgement that things haven't been working up till now, not because of anything outside of yourself, but because of how you've been moving forward. Because you haven't really been open to receive yet, right? So this is something for all of us to look at. When I say you, I'm speaking to me too. I'm going on this journey with you. This is the way I do this kind of work, this Ayurvedic work. I don't make myself separate from the people that I'm working with, from the people that I'm holding space for. I'm putting my feet to the fire too. I got to go through this fire test of truth myself. So as you know, Spirit is highlighting this, for all of you, it's highlighting it for me as well. This is my work to do too. All right. There's a little bit too much adherence to the old way with this 10 of Swords in reverse. This is resisting the letting go. This is resisting doing the work and instead relying on dysfunctional ways to cope with challenging situations, to cope with painful emotions, to cope with trauma, whatever it may be that you're running from. And this is about not running anymore and being willing to do the work and being willing to let go of what no longer serves and creating the path for that experience, by creating the container. And that's what gets everything moving forward with Knight of Wands energy, with passion and purpose and a hell of a lot of fire, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy with that Knight of Wands, okay? You may have one of those signs strongly aspected in your chart. Your transformation may have something to do with one of those signs. This also may just simply be about calling your fire forward, calling your fire forward. Fire is the element of transformation. The point is, change doesn't happen until you take action, all right? We start taking these actions in full force 10 days from now, all right? 10 days from now. We recently had that Lionsgate energy that opened up, a portal of opportunity to transform ourselves. But with Saturn in play, the way Saturn's been in play in the astrology, it's not going to come without focused work, with some discipline, with some drive, with some organization, taking responsibility, okay? So write it out, map it out. What is your daily practice going to look like to achieve these goals? And put your self-care at the beginning of the day and end of the day with a morning dinacharya and an evening dinacharya or bedtime ritual, something where you can wind down, care for yourself, and let go of the day each and every day as landing points. So important, okay? So important. This is really coming through strongly. It leads to happiness and it leads to success. That's what's on offer. Are you ready to receive this? This is the sun. Also, ruling planet of this season, Leo season. You have an opportunity to transform this energy, to experience a new lightness of being, to bring that light forward, right? Just as we opened up, bring that light forward, shine it out into the world and experience joy, sweetness, enough of the bitter taste of life, enough of that bitterness of the Five of Pentacles, claim that sweetness of La Chuparosa, the hummingbird energy, hummingbird, the rose sucker, that extracts the sweet nectar of life and takes that in, or in Ayurveda, what we call the ojas. The ojas, they say in Ayurveda that there are just 4 drops of ojas, the nectar of life, stored within the heart. And they're very, very precious. They're what give you that feeling of fulfillment, of juiciness, of fullness and sweetness and joy and delight and everything that is so wonderful about being alive and having this experience. And it's about building that and bringing this into being. And also, letting that inner light build within and radiate it out into the world and bringing your vision into being. Okay. So practicalities. This week, set up a morning dinacharya. Write it out. What is your daily morning schedule going to look like? It should include some care for your body. It should include some care for your mind, and it should include some care for your spirit. And then same thing, create a bedtime ritual or evening dinacharya. It includes ways to unwind, relax, let go of the day, and pamper yourself a bit while preparing yourself for restful sleep at night, all right? Look at your life, decide what is the one goal you want to bring into being with this Panchakarma. And it can be any goal you like. Nothing is too small, nothing is trivial. Just drop into your heart, drop into your soul. What does it call you to go for now? And if it feels really big, even better yet. If you feel like, I don't know if I can do that in 40 days, even better yet, put your feet to the fire. You never know what your potential is until you give yourself the opportunity to step into it. All right? And write down your goal and build your goal. Build your goal, however you can, build your goal. If you want to make a vision board, create a vision board that encompasses your goal. Get creative with it. Start to awaken your creative energy. You can also create an altar, which can be like a movable, transformational tool to work with. It's almost like a living vision board, that it's really easy for you to take items off of the altar as you experience growth in this process and decide maybe you want to bring this in instead. Your goal will change and grow as you go through this experience, as you come into alignment, mind, body, spirit. Okay. So an altar is another thing you can do. You can create an altar that'll hold, your intention for your Panchakarma and put items on it that speak to you. You can go out on nature walks, up until the time of starting this Panchakarma 10 days from now. And you can, bring home items that, seem to symbolize the energy of what you're looking to call in, and put those on your altar. You put fresh flowers on your altar. You can have a candle on your altar that you light every morning, and you do some tratak. You gaze at the candle flame and you state your goals for the day. You state your intentions for the day. You can also light that same candle at night and you can stare into the flame, do that tratak, and you can tell yourself all the ways that you are so grateful for how you showed up that day. Acknowledge yourself, honor the work you're doing. Witness it. And you can give over to the flame anything you want transformed, anything you want burned away. That's coming into alignment with that energy of Agni. And Agni is the digestive fire. All right. And Agni digests not just the foods we eat, but also our experiences, our emotions, our thought patterns. Okay. So this is a beautiful way to externalize, that Agni energy, while also coming into alignment with that fire energy, right? With the Knight of Wands that moves us forward with purpose and passion. You need fire to get shit done. Pitta gets shit done. Pitta is the man with the plan. All right. So I really encourage you to bring that in. Cut of the deck energy. Woo! And it leads to victory. You're setting yourself up for victory. You're setting yourself up for success. 48, 44 on the clock when I said that, okay? 4, 8, fate and destiny. This is you taking up the challenge to transform your life, to prove yourself wrong, that you're not always going to be stuck living a life, living the half life, that you really can step up to the plate and you can transform your reality. This is your opportunity to do that and experience that sweet celebration, when you get to the other side. I really encourage you, to drop the defensiveness, to stop blocking your blessings and, take the risk. Take the risk for it not to be perfect. Take the risk to, bump up against challenges. Take the risk for it to be a bit uncomfortable. Take the risk to see what's on the other side of all of that. All right. And this week it's all about laying that foundation. Yes, this is the judgment. All right. This is the judgment. Pretty clear message there. I want to pull 2 cards. One from this beautiful White Light Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Okay. Wolf is the Pathfinder. So let's just see what this has to say about the path forward for those who are initiating into Panchakarma this week and outlining their path ahead. Let's just see what Wolf Totem wants to bring in here. All right. All right. Whoa. I mean, okay, that made it very clear. Obadiah. Okay. Look at this. I love this energy that's coming down from above. It's like that Atman energy being channeled in, that higher guidance. And it's also that spiritual guidance coming in. And it really, to me, this is so much of not only like being covered, like being covered by spirit. It's almost like invoking simultaneously for me this like dove energy, that's about coming into that place of love, right? This place of self-love. And look, even though the arms are crossed, do you see how it's more like a receptive? It's almost like she looks like she's like the Ace of Cups, like she's this goblet ready to hold all this love, all this blessing that wants to pour in from spirit and just drink it right into her heart center. Just drink in that ojas into her heart center. It's really kind of a beautiful energy into that anahata chakra. I also see this very much as like this energy coming in to soothe, to shield, to hold, as this transformation happens first on the more subtle layers, on the more inner layers, through turning in, reflecting, getting the guidance on what needs to shift, what needs to change. And I also see this very much like Phoenix energy building. Phoenix rising energy building. It's not there yet right now, creating the space for rising like that Phoenix in that transformation process by getting still, getting quiet this week, turning within, listening to your internal guidance, being honest with yourself about where you need to transform certain behaviors, certain habits, what you need to let go of, what you need to release, the ways that you block your ability to receive, and coming to this place of gentle openness that will provide the vehicle forward. I love this. Garuda Super Suparna. Garuda is Vishnu's vehicle. Okay. Vishnu, who brings abundant blessings, comes in on Garuda, the golden eagle. Yes, this is very much like an alignment with spirit. I love this bird energy that's coming in. Okay, so we know that this is the vehicle forward. This is the way forward, right? And that wolf medicine that was on the back, the wolf is pathfinder. The wolf finds the way through. So the way through is to be willing to be open to receive, and to be willing to turn within, to have this time this week and over these next 10 days to have this space for self-reflection on what's needing to be released and what's needing transformation. This brings valuable insight. And let's get one from the Kali Oracle too. Let's see what Mama Kali has to say about the work to be done. And then we'll close this up for today. I'm really excited to do this with all of you. I'm working on getting myself prepared over these next 10 days. I'm starting to figure out what my morning dinacharya and evening dinacharya is going to look like. I already have my goal. I'm going to keep it close to my heart right now. And that too, you don't have to share your goal with anybody either. This can be very much a personal journey for you. But do set the tone for it this week. Get yourself prepared. And likewise, if you've been eating kind of a lot of junk food or haven't been very mindful about your nourishment, make sure you do like go out and get your cupboards nice and stocked with really nourishing whole foods, and Because that's so foundational. It's so foundational, too, just to make sure we're properly nourished. And it's a big piece of Ayurveda on the physical level, on all levels, really, it's all interrelated, but the ability to digest and assimilate, if you have digestion issues because you have a poor diet, you're going to see trouble with assimilating your life experiences too. You're going to have stuck emotions and stuck thought patterns and all of that. So just get everything set up. If there's, massage oils you need to get yourself, or herbal teas you need to have on hand, or anything you need to get to support you in your self-care and get ready for this Panchakarma. Use these 10 days to make that happen. And Mama Kali is taking, woo, okay, Mama Kali. I'm going to look on the bottom of this. Okay, we got Krishna, okay? And I love this, okay? Because it's like, look at that fire. There's that Agni energy. There's that Agni energy. And we see that there's one head is like almost like turned to the past and like the old way of doing things. This place is sort of being stuck in old patterns and behaviors. And I love this right here because there's this purba in hand, and these are used for cord cutting, and they're used for doing extraction work, for getting rid of negative energy, cutting off the supply, to what drains and what lowers our vibration, and what is destructive, what is unhealthy, and what's in need of transformation. So we really see this coming into play. And by doing this, you get centered, you bring your energy face forward into the present moment. The only time we can really take action and transform our lives is in the present moment, all right? So this is the guidance really coming through. Cut off the ties that bind. Acknowledge what you need to release, what you need to let go, and how you need to go about doing that. And prepare for this journey of straightening by fire. It will require your discipline. It will require your commitment. It will require you hold yourself accountable and that you do the work. But on the other side, there's just such beautiful, beautiful transformation. Lalita Tripura Sundari. Balance in mind, body, spirit. All working in harmony. All right. I look forward to doing this work with all of you. I'm going to dive into my preparation. I may hop on more than just once every 10 days. I might get inspired to kind of share something that's happening in my process, or pull a few more cards. I'm just going to really flow with it and move with the energy. I encourage you to do the same. And I also encourage you to drop in and share your experiences. And thank you so much for joining me in this. Those of you who are going to go along for this ride, I'm excited to transform with you. Namaste.